Oh, sorry I'm late. Good morning. Good morning. I had some technical difficulties this morning, so I had to re-enter all my passwords and all the things, and so I'm a little bit late. And I apologize. But hello and welcome. Trying to figure out where my stream is showing up. And today we are talking about um, worthiness, deservability, self love, because it is our second to last. I think it's our second to last. What's the 15th? Yeah, we got this Monday and next Monday in February. Holy moly. Just a quick note, retrograde ends at the end of the week, but we still will be in shadow. So, there's still going to be some wonky stuff. I hope this retrograde was helpful to you. As we talked about in the beginning of the month, it doesn't have to be a complete shit show as a lot of these blogs and magazines pretend it to be. It actually is a very healing and opportunity time for everyone to kind of focus on how do we talk to ourselves and all that kind of stuff. And that's one thing that I wanted to talk about today, because that's one of the things that contributes to our worthiness, our deservability, and all that kind of. And how do we flip our script about that? Because if there is one thing that I've known, and I wrote this down, and I'm gonna read it to you because it was good. And I'm going to put it other places. I'm going to make a meme. But I wrote this down because it was given to me by Spirit this weekend. And because I was thinking, I'm like, what is the hardest part? What, like, when I talk to people, when I, interact, and when I read things, what is the hardest part? So manifesting isn't the hard part, because what is it? Marianne Williamson talks about, where she says, you know, manifesting and miracles are a natural state of being. Like, that should be normal. But when they're not happening, that is when something's wrong. So really, manifesting isn't the hard part. It's overcoming the resistance. Am I worthy or not? Am I deserving or not? Do I love myself? Because when we say we want something, but then our vibration says I'm not worthy, that's what Abraham talks about the two ends of the stick. If you ever listen to Abraham and they talk about the stick, you can't both be and not be at the same time. It doesn't work. So it's like and when we talk about alignment, your vibration, your thoughts, your emotions, what's coming out of your mouth have to be in alignment. So it's overcoming the resistance. That's the challenge. And that's what we want to talk about today. So good morning, Bren. Is this global? I want to just make sure. Nope, it's not. So let's make this public so that I can see all the comments. Let's see, edit audience. I think that's how I do this. Public. Yay. Okay, so now everybody can see. Hello, everyone. And I can see everybody's comments. Yay, good. Good morning, Bren. Hello. I hope you guys are doing good in this weird weather we're having here in Nashville. We had an ice storm. So I shared a picture on Facebook and Instagram of what the front roads of my house look like. And if you look at that, it's not snow. All that white is ice, not what I ordered, but it's okay. I might write a sternly worded letter, whatevs. But anyways, good morning, Julia. Okay, so I wanted to talk about worthiness and deservability, because these are the things that can block you. So, I have my 7 steps. If you don't know, the book is on Amazon, 7 Steps to Manifesting Your Dreams by Moa. But basically, you have these 7 areas. I call them steps because, that's like the thing to call them. But to me, they're areas. 7 areas that you focus your energy to make manifest the things that you want. And so what I've noticed in probably the last 6 or 7 years that I'm teaching that framework is there are different areas that challenges pop up, but they're all the same. It's either worthiness, deservability, or self-love. So like, in the sense of what are they? So in the sense of the whole getting centered thing, it might be self-love. Unworthiness. Am I worth taking the time every day to be present, to work on my presence in the present? Because if we're putting everybody else's stuff first and my meditation time is at the end of the day, then no, I'm not. I'm not. My self-love and my worthiness of taking time for self is not there. Oh, sorry about the dang my calendar. Then there's the part about asking. I had one client, she was like, I don't know what to ask for because, what if somebody else wants something? And that's like a Hollywood version of this. Like, oh, magic has a price. First of all, it's not magic. Okay. Magic to me is some like, to me, it's like not magic with a C, it's magic with a K. Magic with a K is you got source energy. There's more than enough for everyone. Energy changes form, all of that kind of thing. Magic with a C in Hollywood has all of this plot line crap. That's bullshit. So that I want to set aside. And then you might work through all of this. Your alignment, it causes a challenge, like I said earlier, that if your thoughts about how worthy you are of deserving and your self-love, that mucks up your alignment, because if you're like making vision boards all about money or all about romance, or all about buying a new house, but you have these inner challenges about, do I deserve it? Am I worth this? You either end up with things you don't want, or you don't end up with anything at all, because your energy, your words and your energy are at odds instead of in alignment. And then you might be one of those people that's a fabulous manifester, but then it goes away. So the receiving at the end of the 7 like compartments is also based on, you might get it, but do you keep it? Because oh my gosh, am I worthy of this? Do I deserve this? Do I love myself enough to manage this in a way that's healthy? See what I'm saying? So understanding why this is so important to work on your stuff, to work on your healing, to work on your fears, and to know where they come from. Because we have a lot of times people just be like, oh, that's a limiting belief. You need to work on that. Okay, so how do I work on it if I don't know where it comes from? Do I have to know exactly like where on my personal timeline? And I mean my personal timeline, not Facebook timeline. Like in 1987, such and such happened. No, sometimes you might have an idea of what and when it is, but maybe it's more about the energy. So like, who puts this stuff there? Because this is not, first of all, who is the voice? Is it really you? It is you, because it's part of your itty bitty shitty committee, which I like to frame up as the IBSC, which is funny because I saw a drug commercial where somebody called it the IBSC for some IBS thing. But in this instance, we're going to call it the itty bitty shitty committee, and we're just going to call it IBSC. Okay, so your IBSC is like your icky board of directors. Think of it that way. So I talk a lot about having people on your team. That is not this. People on your team and the IBSC are 2 different committees, like one here, okay? And we don't want to get rid of them totally, because they are still part of who you are and why you are and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes they are speaking a bit of truth in the sense of, what's going on, but then having the wherewithal to work with your team and your IBSC to create a plan for yourself that moves you in a healthy direction. And maybe not silence them, but quiets them down some. So who are these people? Usually they're people who in your life were formative. They might be parents or teachers or clergy or, friends of the family, or people you admire even, that decided to have an opinion about what you wanted. And sometimes that opinion can be burned into your soul and guide how you navigate things when that's not you, it's them. And it might be their fears and limitations that they, for a lot of reasons, are saying. It might be learn from my mistakes. It might be this happened to me when I tried that and I don't want you to get hurt. It might even be people, we talk a lot about hurt people, right? So it might even be that they felt abused and they felt like if they can belittle someone else, and unfortunately that might have been your experience, if they can belittle someone else, that they would feel better. It's passing on their pain and you saying, sure, I'll carry that for you. And just not knowing better. Now, this is not, where like a lot of times, instead of explaining things, you got a lot of manifesting and law of attraction people going, you're accountable for your energy. Sucks to be you. You did this to yourself. But the fact is, when you're a kid, or even when you're in your 20s, 30s, and 40s or beyond, because it doesn't really matter when this kind of shit happens, If someone is intentionally or even unknowingly handing you a pile of crap and you trust this person, you're just trying to do the best that you can in the moment. And you take it and you carry it. And instead of me blaming you or shaming you, because that is so antithesis to any of this stuff. If you read any of this stuff, any of the manifesting, the metaphysical stuff, blaming and shaming and guilting people is such the antithesis to this path that it burns my ass and chaps my ass when A, I see it happening, and B, I have people show up and to my thing and they tell me how they've been hurt by these folks. And I strive to make sure that I don't do that. And I strive to make sure that those folks that show up at my door, so to speak, that have been burned, feel loved when they come here. So I want to be really clear that I am not sitting here saying, this is all you and suck it up. No. What I am saying is this: in the moment, you made a choice. And it was the choice that you thought was best when you were coming from a place of being heart-centered. And again, we talk a lot about healing the inner child. The inner child's not the only time when shit happens, okay? So any time from this minute back could be the time you need for healing. It could be when you realize, oh, that person was joining my IBSC and I don't want to listen to them anymore. And I don't want them to have power over me anymore. So you have all that stuff going on. So what I want you to do is, what do I do with this? Do I sit in listening to another IBSC member say that it's all my fault, that you created this, you attracted this, all this crap, which I hate? No, darlings, no. What this is your IBSC is an echo of these people trying to navigate their path. And when we talk about those who say things like, if you would just change, I would be more comfortable. So it might be someone who is very loving towards you and saying, oh, I see you shining. And when I tried to shine, somebody just knocked me off my high horse. And so I want to help you down off of your high horse before someone knocks you off. That's fear disguised under the blanket of love. I love you so much, I don't want you to get hurt. But the fact is, what if your path is to not only ride that high horse, but gallop away into the sunset and be the voice that changes someone's life? But because this other person lovingly helped you down, you don't do it. And every time you try to be who you really are, they go, oh, no. That's the IBSC from the place of people saying, I love you and I'm going to do this. This is programming, and that person might leave. It might be like your third grade teacher or your professor in college. But the fact is that once, whether they're live and in person or they're kind of an echo, you get to choose whether you own that or not. This is when you have stuff like I said for a lot of times, I'm not good at math. But now, when I really think about it, I was owning some asshole from I think it was like 9th grade. I had a teacher who in trigonomics, which, oh my, hard as fuck, okay? There's, especially when your dad's a space engineer, you would think I would like just genetically be predisposed to know that shit. No. And I sucked. I was in almost they wanted to put me in AP for math for the longest time till I hit this one class. And I was so lost because the teacher was horrible. And I went to him and I said, I'm not doing well. I'm normally very, good at this math business, but this is totally different. And can I get some extra help? Do you have any tutoring? Do you have any after school, like extra? And he goes, look, I'm tenured. If you suck, that's your problem. What a way to talk to a 14 or whatever you are in 9th grade. And ever since then, I was like, yeah, I suck at math. My mom's an accountant. My dad's an engineer. And I'm running around going, I suck at math. Do I understand stocks and bonds? No. Have I taken classes? Yes. I understand the concepts. I can't really figure out the math of it. And that was part of my legal career. But what I now, instead of walking around, it's not funny to be like, oh, I'm just not mathy. And I'll say stuff like that sometimes, but I have to notice when it comes out of my mouth and flip my script. I have to be noticing. So we're going to do it. I'm going to share with you my method. It's called RAIN. It's not really mine. It's a psychological method I implement a lot of times when we want to go down this path of shifting our thoughts. But you have to be aware. You have to recognize, okay? So first thing first, RAIN. are. Recognize that it's happening. It's not funny to say, well, I just suck at that, or I'm always blah, blah, blah. It's not. It's not funny, it's not cute, and it's not humble. It is retweeting bullshit that someone else tweeted over you to modernize it. When we talk about people speaking blessing over each other, people also speak shit over each other. And think about that. Whether it's an action or a word, people have spoken shit over you. It might not have been intentional. They are not bad people. They're just dealing with their shit. And they think if I pass it around, it'll be loving, it'll lessen my pain, whatever. But now, 10 years later, 5 years later, a year later, you are retweeting, re-speaking the shit they shit over you on yourself. Stop! For the love of Pete and all that is holy and Mickey Mouse and Oprah Winfrey and everybody else, stop. It's not funny. It's not humbling. It doesn't make you look good. Self-deprecation is self-deprecation. I don't care how you paint it. It breaks you down and you're doing it to yourself. And I don't want that for you. And I know that you don't want that for yourself. So I want to bring that to your attention. So the first letter is recognize. Listen to what comes out of your mouth. It's like, what was it? Eddie Murphy, when he goes, are you hearing the words? Oh, no, it wasn't Eddie Murphy. It was the guy in Rush Hour when he looks at Jackie Chan and goes, are you hearing the words coming out of my mouth? Are you hearing the words coming out of your mouth? Recognize. Then acknowledge them. We're not going to glaze this over. This is not, you know me, spiritual, practical, no bullshit. We're not spiritually bypassing. Acknowledge. Say, oh, I hear you. I said that. Or you might see somebody who's speaking shit over you now, and you might say to them, okay, I just choose not to accept that. I am not going to claim your words. Thank you for your input. Am I going to take it under advisement? I might, because I got to recognize and I got to acknowledge, but that's about it. And it might give me insight into whether or not you're on my team. That's okay. It might be, I'm hearing the words coming out of my mouth and you're like, oh my God, that's my auntie, Aunt Tilly, who she's just a nut job. And I always thought that, but I didn't realize I was repeating her words that she had spoken over me 17 holidays ago. But I'm going to acknowledge them and say, okay, I see you. Recognize, acknowledge, investigate. Why am I doing this? It's not, investigate is not, let's go back through the family tree and see where my ancestry fucked up. That might be good information so that you can see the history of the hurt or something, but it doesn't help your spiritual path. That is, again, bypassing when I start saying, well, it's in my ancestry, so it's my excuse to be this way. If that were true, I would be awesome at math. I mean, and the fact is that, yeah, I do my own taxes. I do my own books. I do all my own stuff. I still have that trouble of saying to myself, math is not my forte, but maybe it is. Maybe it is. And I have to go back and forth with that. Okay. Like when I investigate, oh, was it really him or were there other instances? Do I need to know that? No. Do I even need to know that it was that one teacher? No. You might know. I had one client say to me, she knew exactly why she stopped writing. And now finally, thank God she's writing again, and she's an amazing writer. But it was this one teacher that just totally threw her dreams under the bus. And then she owned them because she trusted that person. That's not her fault. She trusted that person because of the way we live. That person's role in her life was to be trusted. But then when she acknowledged it, when she recognized it, and we started investigating, what's going on? Do I want to own this anymore? That's your investigation. It's not, where did it happen? You know, recognize, duh. Acknowledge, duh. Okay, I know what's going on. I'm going to get honest and say, I get it. Investigation is, do I want to keep this? Is this working? Obviously not if it's interfering with my manifesting my spiritual path and I'm spiritually bypassing a bunch of crap because I'm blaming my ancestors, blaming my high school teacher. It's giving me an excuse to live a certain way that I don't like, but I choose not to change. until now because you know better, so you do better. Do I want to? And the thing is, if you say to yourself, you know what? I'm comfortable. I can live with this for right now. Am I going to be happy about that for you? Probably not, because I want you to be awesome. But if that's where you're at, that's okay. If you investigate and you're like, I'm kind of scared to let go of this because it's part of who I am. Yeah, it is scary. It's scary as fuck. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. Healing is never easy. That's why we got so many people running around with coping mechanisms that are 18 years old. But if you're not there yet, that's okay too. If you're, you got to try this journey yourself. But I do want to bring this to your attention because you got to get honest with yourself and say, I'm okay. This is where I am. I'm not ready to be over here. This is what the investigation is about. Am I ready? Do I want to choose to claim this? Do I want to not? Do I want to give it up? For my Wiccan folks, do I want to write it on a piece of paper and shout, I choose to release this as you throw it into a campfire? That's your investigation. It's not trying to figure out where it is on your personal timeline that caused all these problems. Maybe it's a past life, because we can get caught up for eons in where something happened. I mean, that's why all these CSI shows are so big, is because they're all caught up in the drama of why something happened instead of healing the thing. And that's what we're here for. That's what I'm all about, is helping you. So like, if you are in that scared place, no, you're not alone. Know that whether it's me or somebody else, reach out to say, I need some help. And I want to work through this thing. Now, I'm not a trauma coach, so I would say engage a trauma coach. If it's something else where you're like, I just need some tools to get over this, that I can help you with. But at the end of the day, you have to be honest with yourself in your investigation and say, this is something that is or is not helping and serving me. So when we talk about giving stuff up that doesn't serve, that's what we're talking about. Do I want to give it up? Am I ready? Be honest and say, yeah, I've been claiming this for quite some time, but now I can make the difference. I can change what I claim in any given moment. There's no blame, shame, and guilt here. There's no dwelling in, oh my God, I didn't know any of this, and look at the mess I made. Yeah, you can dwell there for 24 hours. My mom always said, I have a 24-hour rule. You can be upset for 24 hours. You can be down in the dumpster, but you got to get up and move the next day. Because if you want forward movement, that's what you got to do. So in your investigation, figure out where you want to go. Do you give it up? Is it scary and you need support? Are you good with what's going on and you're not really, it's not that painful to sit where you are? That's okay. That's cool. Whatever works for you. But understand, this is where you got to get honest and say, well, I'm just going to sit in my shit because it's less painful for me to sit here than it is to move forward. Or it is more painful to sit here, so I want to move forward. I'm not sure how. Let me reach out and see. Right? And then the last letter in the rain is N for nurture. And it's not, I'm going to go get a pedi or a spa treatment. It's, okay, I made my choice in my investigation. I investigated and asked myself a whole bunch of stuff about where I want to go and how I want to navigate any of this. And in that space, when I look at my answers there, when I look at the choices, the path I want to take, how can I nurture myself toward moving the needle on that path? What do I need to do? Do I need to reach out? Do I need to seek a therapist? Do I need to seek a coach to help me move forward? Do I need to do some journaling? What do I need? What do I need to make this better? And then putting that into action for yourself. Doing the reach out, buy the journal, do the things, join the mastermind, whatever it is that in your journey, you're like, okay, these are the things I need to nurture myself so that I can move the needle on my healing, on flipping my script. That's what you need to do. It's time to, how I always say, there's time, energy, and money. That's what everybody has on the material side of the veil. It's time to invest all of your commodities, your time, energy, and money in yourself when you want to flip that script. And if something's coming up for you that I mention all that, that's another investigation. It's all data, my friends. And you don't need to feel guilty about data. Google doesn't give a shit about what you're Googling and the answer it gives you. Okay? You're doing your internal Google. It's stay in observer mode as you do your investigation so that you can be really honest. And it may or may not be fun, but it is helpful. And once you get that healed up, you can start seeing your manifesting shift gears. Even if you have anxiety, even if you have fear, I want you to not claim them as something you have. I want you to say, these are visitors. These are visitors in my house. And I think I talked about this in a couple of messy buns ago in the southern culture of the Ford poster beds with the pineapples on the top of the posters, and to to let people know when they've outstayed their welcome, they remove the pineapples, because pineapples are the sign of welcome in the South. And when it's time for your guests to go, you remove your pineapples, right? So it's time to say, is it time for me to remove my pineapples for these IBSC voices live and in person, or echoes from the past? Am I removing my pineapples for the stuff that I've believed about myself that they told me? Because you come into this world, you're born, right? You cross the veil into the world and you're like, hello, I'm here. I'm full of love, light, and energy. And then all of a sudden people are like, well, you can't do that. You got to chill that. You're at 11. I need you at a 2. That's when we start getting programmed in these ways. And so now most of you watching, I'm going to assume, are adults. You're of legal age wherever you live. And it's time to say, my pineapples, are they going to get removed because this guest is no longer welcome? Or are we going to keep them there because we're like, I can tolerate them a little longer? Either way is okay. It's not my place to tell you what to do. It is my place to give you awareness. I think that is my place, is to bring you to awareness. And then if you so choose, we walk together the path into alignment. That's what I think my job is as a manifestology professor, is to bring awareness, and as your friendly neighborhood super woo, to help you walk the path. That's kind of what I think about this. So anyways, I hope this was helpful. I'm going to grab some comments really quick just to kind of read them back to see there's lots and lots. Bren says, love all of this, had fear and lots of feeling afraid this morning, and went through all the steps. And now in the end, sacred bath, listening to the guidance. Thank you. Oh, see, yes. What do I need to nurture? And also, baths are so good, clears energy. I want you to focus a little on the practical too, Bren, because it's, what do I need to do? Because I know a little bit about Bren. She's making a big, big leap. And one of the things I always recommend when people are making leaps as far as nurturing is you do your spiritual. What nurtures the spirit so that I can move in that needle for myself? There's also, because we chose to come on this side of the veil, I know all you spiritual woos, I know you guys love hanging out in those upper chakras, but you still got them lower ones that you got to contend with, because we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we got to be in that human experience, okay? So what is something in the practical sense that you could do in your leap? When I made my leap from corporate to full-time super woo, my practical leap list was stuff that I knew would be my creature comforts, because that first year might be something that might be a little bit troubling as far as finances. I had my savings, so I thought, I need a savings, number one, so that I would have a cushion in case I had a bad month. Then I thought to myself, I really love my coffee in the morning, and I go to Starbucks a lot, and that budget might not be there so that I can choose to go here. Sometimes always we need to make choices. And my choice was, I'm going to spend a good ton of money on a great coffee maker so I can make my favorite coffee drinks at home, and save that money so that I can live my dream, right? I wanted new bath towels. I wanted new chairs for the dining room because we never replaced them after the flood. These are, and they may sound trivial to a lot of people, but it's my list. Bren, it's your list. Whatever will help you and support you in the material world make the leap that you're making. So you have your spiritual support. You have, yes, clean the decluttering, girl. That is like is that not the most cathartic thing ever, is decluttering? It's fucking amazing. And you find stuff, it's like shopping. Because first of all, yeah, you get rid of a bunch of stuff, but sometimes you shop in your own closet because you're like, oh my God, I forgot I had that cool little gadget. So yeah, great. That's awesome. So I think there's that kind of stuff. So and then calling bullshit on yourself and being honest is a big component of this too. Like, am I doing this because I'm afraid, or am I making the leap list and then not finishing it because I'm a little bit afraid? Okay. So there's that kind of stuff too. So that's why I always talk about the leap list. And anyway, Brent says, haha, totally found clothes. Right? You probably are wearing every single stitch of clothing because she lives south of me. And it's like snowing and ice. So you probably have every stitch of clothing on like I do. Anyways, yeah, Julia says she decluttered and found shoes. Oh, girl, is that not the best? Finding shoes. It's like gift from like the she girly fairy, or whatever. I'm trying to get all to the comments, but I'm not. Let's see. Let me just see. Oh, and Julia's here. And jumping from, okay, let me just read it. Perfect divine timing. Worthiness is a big focus for me in the last few days. Yes, Brian, because it's been, I think, we're all of us together in this pandemic situation. I think a lot of times, for safety purposes, we're all kind of being in our own bubble. And when we are self-employed anyway, under normal circumstances, you're kind of in your own bubble. So the bell jar of the IBSC can get a little loud when you're kind of like, oh God. So that's another reason why I come on here, because it's in my bell jar. It's in your bell jar. Let's talk about it. Call the elephant in the room, and be done with it, instead of like glossing over stuff like a lot of folks do and just being like, well, just do this or just do that. And if you do it wrong, it's your own fault. Forget it. I'm here to make sure you're taken care of and you're thinking about stuff that helps you, not hinders your travel. So let's see. Yes. Let's see. Celeste. Oh, girl, how are you? I love Celeste's screen name, Celestial. But Celeste, I love that you're kind of back in the mix. I've seen your name pop up here and there, and I hope you're doing good. Let's see. She says, this is so true for me. Whenever I'm doing well, the history with people comes up and definitely takes me a step back. Oh, girl, see, now I hope that the RAIN method that I just kind of outlined helps, so that you can, maybe walk yourself through it, and you can do that over and over. It's like shampoo, wash, rinse, repeat, rain, till you wash yourself clean of all of the bullshit that has been spoken over you. Because I know Celeste, and she is one of the most tender-hearted, sweetest people you will ever meet. And she is such a spiritual person, and she's so loving, and she does not deserve to have anybody. None of you do. Let's be honest. None of you do deserve to be spoken over with anything other than blessing. Okay? I want you to be really honest, because what if you started, instead of like when you say, oh, I claim this, or I'm so stupid, or I'm so clumsy, or I'm so messy, or I'm so whatever. What if you stopped saying that when you heard it kind of coming out of your mouth? It's like hanging there in a half thought bubble. What if instead you started replacing? I wrote some of these down. This is because I love me some affirmations, and this is how you use them. They're not things you use to manifest the extra $100 of rent at the end. This is like how you change your life. I'm not a money manifesting coach or a love manifest. I am a manifesting coach and a manifesting teacher, because if I can help you change your energy, you can manifest whatever the hell you want. I don't give a shit if it's money or love or a house or a car or whatever. I mean, I give a shit because I love you, but honestly, it's not my place to tell you what to manifest. That's what you're different than me. We are all different, extensions of source energy, so that we can have this lovely interaction in the human world. But it's not my place to tell you what you want. It's my place to teach you how to get it, right? And how to get it in a healthy way. And so when you start hearing yourself almost automatically and out of habit choosing to speak ick over yourself, What if you stopped yourself and you started speaking blessing over yourself? So you might say, instead of saying, oh gosh, my butt is so big, Becky, her butt is so big, and you own that, my butt is so big. Instead, what if, it's like, my butt is adorable, regardless of size. You just you get more of it. I am beautiful and everybody loves me. That's my favorite. That's a Louise Hay. I used to walk out of the house when I go to work and I'd be like, I'm beautiful and everybody loves me. La, 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 la. I'd go to work. Because isn't that a better high vibe feeling than talking badly about your physical appearance? So start figuring out what affirmations work for you. In the sense of the ones that I can flip my script for. And all you got to do, once you're aware, is say, okay, what am I saying? Oh gosh, I'm always so stupid. What if you said, okay, what's the opposite of all that? I embrace my inner wisdom. Always. And what if you just stopped yourself? And even if it makes it all the way out of your mouth, don't beat yourself up. All you do is you stop and you go, ooh, if I said that to somebody, that would hurt their feelings. It probably hurts my feelings. So I'm going to, I'm going to replace that. I embrace my inner wisdom. I am so wise. I listen to myself and my wisdom all the time. I know exactly. My still small voice guides me with such wisdom. I am excited to listen to it because it is so smart. So I want you to practice that this week. I want you to practice recognizing, acknowledging, investigating, and nurturing, and listening to yourself. And then flipping that script if what comes out of your mouth is something that it's not in alignment with where you want to go. Because if where you want to go is love and manifesting energy, you don't have time to buy into that IBSC quarterly meeting of bullshit. You have time to speak blessing and sparkle over yourself. No more looking at your shit. Only look at your sparkle. It's time. Okay? So I hope this was helpful. I love you guys. Oh, I love how Margaret she didn't say nothing. She just put little flames like this girl is on fire. Yes, I am, right? I'm trying to be. I love you all. I want you to have a great week. I hope everybody stays safe and warm because I know Margaret is even further south. She's so south. She's in Alabama. I think you're in Alabama, right? Anyways, you probably have snow. We have all this nasty ice. I'm hoping it'll snow because you guys know how I love me some snow. This ice business. But anyways, I do have snacks, and that's all that's important is snacks, right? Okay, I love you guys for being here with me live. Celeste, Bren, Julia, Margaret. Oh, by the way, I would love for you guys, and she posted this on Facebook, so I don't feel odd sharing. Meredith, who's normally with us live for the live stream. Some of you have seen her post here. She has a procedure she's getting done today. So if you don't mind sending her some love and light so that she feels taken care of, maybe asking Archangel Raphael to guide the mind, hands, and hearts of any healthcare worker or anybody that comes in contact with her regarding her stuff today. Just surround her with your love and light so that she feels supported. Thank you so much for praying with me there for a moment for our sister in light, Meredith. And other than that, have a wonderful week. Watch your words, speak blessing over yourself, and I will see you next Monday. But until then, I will see you in the vortex, and I love y'all so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful week. I love you. Oh, hey, Nella. Bless you and Ara. I feel like I'm in romper room. I see Nella and I see Ara and I see Bren and I see Julia and Margaret and all the people and Celeste. Okay, I gotta go. But you guys have a great week. I love you. Mwah! Bye, y'all.